tuning in, doing a radio show, introduces us to some amazing people. And we get to meet these amazing people and often feel friends with them, and which I think is probably true in the next case. Not that we've ever gone to lunch with Annie Marie Delgado, but she's been a friend, right?
She's a nice gal.
And when the Donald Trump campaign announced that there would be a campaign, I think it was shortly after that I saw that Annie Marie was involved with the Donald Trump campaign, and so I'm just kind of excited, kind of living vicariously through her Facebook posts. And I know she probably doesn't want to represent Donald Trump because it wouldn't be fair to him, to Donald Trump.
Right.
But it'd be just cool to hear what it sounds like to be part of this campaign as such a close place. Annie Marie Delgado. Good morning, Annie Marie. How are you?
Good morning, Larry, my friend, and Robin. I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Long time no hear. What, you moved out of town? You moved to Palm Beach?
Yep, I'm back in Palm Beach. I was going back and forth for a while, but I am full-time here down in Palm Beach now. I get up to Ocala and I go and see some of my good Trump people up there and other folks.
Yeah, Robin and I just went to West Palm Beach. The two are close. You forgive me for not knowing this, but they're close, right?
Oh, yeah, that's like 15 minutes south of me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we went there, we did a gig. You know, we do music. You know that, right?
Yes, indeed. I love your music. And I follow you through Facebook.
Oh, do you really? Well, now, the one picture that is really impressive is you're standing there with Donald Trump. So what was that like?
Pretty ordinary for me. I've known Donald Trump and been working with him for over 25 years.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Back in the 90s, I started working with him.
Is that because of your real estate work?
Yes. I first I was a broker that worked on the Trump Plaza project. And that was, 1990.
Really?
And about 10 years later then as a commissioner, when I was elected official as a commissioner, I helped him with the Trump International golf tour, beautiful facility that he has in West Palm Beach.
Is that right?
And that was actually the year that he did the first year of the ladies LPGA tournament, and I was site operations manager and worked on that whole event, which was phenomenal.
Is that right? Is he part of the LPGA event that we have here in Ocala too?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Okay, because I think that's happened twice now, 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know much about it, but I just was curious if there was a connection there. So yesterday, was it an exciting day for you? I mean, Indiana seemed to be the state we needed at this point to say, okay, it's a done deal, and is it a done deal?
Well, it certainly was an important state for us, and I was so excited to see the numbers nonetheless. But on Monday, over this past weekend, I was able to land the endorsement from Fred Williamson, which I'm sure you probably saw him on the campaign and at the rallies on Monday. And he's in Gary, Indiana, and that was a very good endorsement for us. He's a wonderful man. They call him the Hammer. He's an actor, and certainly if you remember him, he used to play pro football years back, and he's been on everything from Star Trek and different movies, and I think you probably recognize him most recently as the spokesperson for the Wounded Warrior organization.
Okay.
So that was excellent. And having Bobby Knight, also be part of the campaign in Indiana was phenomenal. They're both so well respected within their own rights in that state.
Do you know?
And I'm sorry.
That's okay. I wanted to tell you something. Glenn Fiorello was in here earlier, and you told me by Facebook this morning that he was the Marion County chair, which I didn't even know. And Glenn was so kind; he came in here just at the last minute and did a little 25-minute interview with us. But he was talking about. Well, we were talking about just the man Donald Trump, and I said, well, I don't know him. But being from New York, I know him. I know so many people who are like him. And so some of the mannerisms, some of the ways he speaks, or the things that rub people the wrong way, I always say, gosh, you don't know. If you know a New Yorker, that's not a bad thing. Like
exactly.
And so I'm wondering, as a lady, because the people who are opposed to him pick on some of the things he says about women in general. But you got to take it in the context of what it is. And you have had to have lived in New York at least for a while to kind of pick up on the little things. And you know what else we wanted to point out, and I'm sure you know this, Annie, is the fact that when the press said he said 7/11 instead of 9/11, That was the firehouse 7-Eleven he was referring to.
Yeah,
not,
the engine company.
yeah. How did
Exactly, and which I immediately knew that's what he was talking about.
because you're from New York.
And well, and not only that point, that specific, when 9/11 was so tragic, not only to New Yorkers, to the world, quite frankly. But
Right.
my sister was, which is a police officer, and she's now just getting ready to retire. She was in the bottom of the World Trade Center. She had a court date. I spoke with her the day before. She told me she had off, so I never imagined that she would be there. But she was, and she pulled hundreds of people out of the train. It was horrifying, but nonetheless, she was awarded the Top Cop Award for 9/11.
Oh, that's awesome.
my
Wow.
sister. Yes, indeed. So, and we do know, especially when they were trying to criticize him when he said that we saw some of these folks out there celebrating and cheering that event. And I'll tell you, it happened. People that were there saw it. Certainly, that was proven later on in many different clips that people found and they showed where they were celebrating this. And it was awful.
Yeah,
Awful.
we did an interview with an author, and she told us the same thing. Where did she live? She lived in Queens, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and she said the same thing. She said she witnessed the same thing.
Absolutely. But just to touch base on your point about women, and you have to be from New York really to kind of understand the culture. But myself, knowing Donald Trump personally for so many years, and that picture that you spoke of, that was at his home in Mar-a-Lago, and he called and set up an appointment. I went over, and he came around the corner. I was sitting there with Corey Lewandowski, his campaign manager, and Mike Glassner, which is the national political director, and he just said, "Oh, it's Annie." He looked at Corey. He said, "Hire her right now."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and he has never, not one time ever, have I seen him be disrespectful to women or anything. But what he is in campaign mode, and he's fair and balanced. If you attack him, he's going to attack back.
Absolutely, yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. So, if you're a woman and you think that, well, I can say this and play the woman card on him, it's not going to work. And the people understand that because he has to defend himself from so many different angles and from so many different candidates. Understand, we started with 17 opponents, 17 people in this race, and now we're right at the final end here. And we wish Mr. Cruz all the best. As he suspended his campaign last night.
Right.
And we now move forward on to Hillary Clinton and making America great again.
Yeah, what's up with Kasich? Any comment on that? Oh, that's a good comment. That's all you got to say. You don't got to say anything else. Well, and in Hillary's case, I mean, isn't that email thing? Isn't that going to be probably a big deal?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be extremely problematic for her. Certainly, it's out there. She's under criminal investigation. I think that that'll play out its role in its due time. But whether or not they indict her before or after the election, the point is that the general public has already indicted her.
Yes,
in the sense of the fact that
some of them, not every one of them. Obviously, she's got a lot of support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's going to be very interesting. There are multiple things. Certainly, the Benghazi is an issue. It's a big issue. People don't forget, and I think that she'll have many of issues of that kind and that magnitude.
Well, I hope
will be problematic for her.
I hope in Palm Beach you have a go-to radio guy. It's a bigger city than Ocala,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to think that we were your go-to radio people back then when you were here.
Yes.
So.
You certainly were. I enjoyed my time with you tremendously because. Especially during those days, the word needed to get out, and you certainly were the people to go to. And I do have, I don't know if you're familiar with Jennifer Ross and Joyce Kaufman. I was on their radio show. I've known Jennifer Ross for about 35 years, and they're very.
So you have some go-to people in your
mm-hmm.
part of the world now.
Yes.
And you obviously have known them longer than you've known us.
Yeah.
Well, you're one of the best spokespeople for Mr. Trump's campaign because I think when he does get in the White House that he's going to drop all this DNR and I nonsense, and he's going to unite the people, because there hasn't really been a president that once they get in office that they say, okay, I'm for everybody now. I'm not just backing my party. And I think he's going to unite the Republican Party, but he's also going to unite the American people.
Yes, he is, because there's one thing about Mr. Trump. He loves this country, and he loves all the people. And quite frankly, I can say that this has been I've worked on a lot of campaigns from all different levels. This is an historic campaign in so many different ways. And that's one thing that we can see clearly is he will unite this party, and you'll start seeing it, rapidly coming together. And that's because he has the ability to do that. He always has. Yeah. He has been working with both Democrats and Republicans and independents and business people, not only in this country, but all over the world.
Well, if you can take the blighted buildings in New York City and make them into beautiful hotels, as he did. What was that one? What was
Indeed.
that? What was that? The Columbus building? What was that one?
I can't recall.
I can't remember the building,
name.
but
it was
yes, on
amazing.
Columbus and 62nd on the Circle. That's the Trump International, and quite frankly, this is how the kind of man he is. Both my parents came down with cancer a few years back, and my mom, I took her to Sloan Kittery in Manhattan, and he always said to me, if you ever need anything, you call my office. I did, and his assistant immediately gave us, myself and my three sisters, that we all flew in to take care of Mom and Dad, and he put us up at the Trump International, which is on Columbus and on the Circle there. And this is just the kind of guy he is. No questions asked, just keeps his word. He's a man of his word.
Wow. What a great statement. I won't call it an endorsement. I don't know if there's a legal thing there, but thank you. Annie Marie, good to hear your voice again. And stay safe down there. And I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on all of the success in personal life as well as what you're doing with the Trump campaign.
I thank you so very much. It's so great to hear you guys. And next time in town, I'll come over and say hi.
Definitely. Definitely. If we're down there, we'll call you up too.
Yeah.
Please do.
Absolutely. We'll come by with the accordion and the mandolin, and we'll make you dizzy. We'll make
That's
you.
right.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. We will take a little break, and we'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
It's time for Farming